It's on the International Governing Body Commission called the GBC. And GBC's zonal secretary who are actually in the international body. And each of them is given a zone. The zonal secretary for this area is Hare Krishna Prabhupad. He is the zonal secretary of Phoenix and for other parts of the United States of America. So he represents the International Governing Body Commission. The only people decision is the International Governing Body Commission. Nobody else can change that decision. Nobody. And then, after that comes, under him, under the GBC Zonal Secretary for Phoenix is Grace Hare Krishna Prabhupad, writing small so you may not be able to read. Below that person is the ISKCON Phoenix Temple President, in this case, Prematathri Mataji. That is her position. She comes right below the Zonal Secretary. So she is the leader in the local area. And the Zonal Secretary is the leader for the wider area. But for ISKCON Phoenix, larger Phoenix area, it is Prematathri Mataji. And then she has with her a team of persons who are meant to cooperate with her and work according to her decisions and the decisions of her higher authority, who is Hare Krishna. This is Probot System. Why this system works perfectly is, say for example, Prematathri Mataji is not a good temple president. She doesn't do the right thing. She does something wrong. So what happens is, Hare Krishna Prabhu comes to know about it. And what he will do is, he will start an investigation. Now you may not know this. He has already started an investigation. And until he completes the investigation, everything is considered to be normal. At the time when the investigation is over, whatever the results of that investigation will be instituted. That way, nobody disturbs the movement. It's done very nicely. These people who are investigators include persons like me. We're qualified people who are trained in investigations. So we find things out. We talk to people. We find out. Last time I came in, a lot of notes. Sent all those to them and said, here's my investigation notes. Like that, they hear from different people. They have, in this case, even forensic scientists looking at things in the FBI. That's how high we go to in terms of our investigation. Why? Because we want our movement to be pure. We want it to be such that ISKCON is Srila Prabhupada's movement, that nobody can put a small dot on Srila Prabhupada's character. Not one small black mark on Srila Prabhupada's character. Just like Jesus. In Christianity, Jesus had an unimpeachable character. Perfect character. No one black spot on his character. In the same way, not one black spot on Prabhupada's character. So that's how it works. Now, of course, we are all human beings, so sometimes mistakes are made, but the mistakes are quickly corrected when the international GBC looks at those mistakes. Then they're able to do it because they've got a lot of intelligence. Prabhupada said, combined intelligence working together, you will have the understanding that Krishna wants us to have to push forward the movement. Then comes the movement of many cultures. So here, our philosophy is, the initial part of our philosophy is that I am not the body. I am spirit soul. So we do not argue on the basis of body. We argue on the basis of soul. If you argue on the basis of soul, then you are talking about Krishna consciousness. If you're arguing on the basis of the body, you're talking about material consciousness. And ISKCON is not about material consciousness. There are many material conscious organizations that are out there, very, very powerful material consciousness organizations. Best to go to them and deal with material consciousness, because that's their expertise. They're groups who can do great things. We have every right to do that. In our temple, we talk spirituality. We do not create any other situation. Just like I said, even though I didn't feel like there was something wrong that I did, because my temple president said leave, the very next day I was out of there. Packed up and everything. My wife and children were with me. They were very, very unhappy. We packed up in the U-Haul and we were out of there. That's the system. If you do not follow, then who are you? We have to be followers of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada laid out the system. We have to follow that system. Otherwise, what will happen is, we will cause offenses to each other. And Krishna says, I can tolerate anything, but I will not tolerate offenses to my devotee. And the most important devotees are the ones who directly represent Prabhupada. Prabhupada is the most important devotee in our movement. We may think he has left. He has not left. He's very much here. Many people have him coming in their dreams and advising them how to do things, even now. Just like when he was here, manifesting on this planet in his physical body. So, this is Prabhupada's movement. He told us how to do it. If we do it that way, it'll be fine. If we don't do it that way, there'll be conflict. And just like many other organizations, break up, break up, break up, break up into many different factions, and then the factions keep fighting, and then the faction becomes the religion, and everybody's lost. The original essence that Radharani gave for Mayapur Dham is lost. We don't want to lose that essence. We want to stick with that essence. And even if everybody leaves, every one of you should understand, everybody leaves, you don't leave. You stay. And you serve very nicely under the temple president and under the GBC, local GBC, under the international GBC, following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. And you'll be fine. It has happened at the Dallas temple. We lost 2/3 of our congregation because a group of persons attacked the temple president, attacked the temple, and 2/3 of the congregation was lost. But the 1/3 continued, and today, for those of you who've been to Dallas, how many of you have been to Dallas? Please put your hand up. Okay. So those of you who've been to Dallas, would you agree it's a very, very strong temple? It's a very powerful temple. Because we regrouped with that 1/3. Because purity is the force. We want purity. This is not about any one of you being a bad person. This is about all of you being servants of Krishna. Jivera Surupai Nityananda Krishna Das. You are perfect as a person. Then don't behave like a person who is not perfect. That's all I'm asking. Every one of you is very beloved to Radha Madhava Hari. Every one of you is very beloved to Prabhupada. If we want to stay like that, we can't fight. We have to follow the authority. I have to follow. I'm the chairman of the North American GBC. I have to follow Hare Vilas Prabhu because he is in this area higher than me. Even though I'm the chairman. Prabhupada set it up that way. The international GBC is higher than me. I have to follow them. I may not agree with some of the things they say and do. That's okay. But I follow. Because one mind on its own cannot understand. Even 10, 15, 20 minds of themselves cannot understand. This movement is more than 100 million followers now. Please try to understand. A lot of minds are working together here. And following. They're not fighting. At some temples there's some fights going on. That's okay. We need the fighting also, by the way. I have to tell you that. We do need the fighting. Because when fighting happens, the truth comes out, and the truth is established, and then after that there's no more fight. You see? So fighting is also necessary sometimes. Because what it does is that it shakes everybody up, right? It's like a mango tree. You shake it, what happens? All the rotten mangoes fall, right? Because some ripe mangoes fall too. Then you can take those ripe mangoes and eat them, offer them to Krishna and eat them. That's great. But the point is that Krishna, Radha, Madhava, Hari today are shaking this tree of this temple. None of you should fall off the tree. Stay on the tree. Hang on with your dear life. Hang in there. Don't let anybody tell you anything that discourages you from serving Radha, Madhava, Hari the best every day. Let me tell you a story so you get this point very clearly. How many of you, a child, a small child, say under 2 years of age? Anybody? Under 2? Boy, you guys are all parents. You're all elder parents. Okay, but how are your parents? Okay, put your hands up. Great. How are your parents? Very good. Now you understand, if you had a child of 2 years of age or under, and that child became very to agree, you'll drop everything to take care of that child? Yes? You forget everything, right? That child is the most important person to you. You'll forget everything, even your eating, your sleeping, your drinking, maybe even start finding it hard to breathe because your child is in danger, face is turning blue, maybe my child will leave. What will happen? I cannot bear the thought. True? The deities are like our children. They're like our children. They're depending on us to serve them. The best time to serve them is when there's an emergency. The most important time to serve them is when there is an emergency. Please understand that. So right now is emergency time in Phoenix. Please, you got the best opportunity to serve them right now. Please open up your hearts and serve them just like Hanuman, who's sitting there in front of the Ram Darbar. in front of Sita, Ram and Lakshman. When he opens his chest, what do you see? Sita and Ram. Sitting on the throne of his heart, Sita and Ram. If we open our chest, what will we see inside? Death? We have to see Radha Madhava Hari inside. We are Radha Madhava Hari's people. Please understand that. All of you understand that. Whether you are right now doing the right thing, doing the wrong thing, or sitting in the middle, doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that you do the right thing individually, and you do the right thing collectively. And listen to this presentation with a very clear understanding is being given right now. It can't be more clear than this. And if you can't understand this in English, we will have it translated. It is being videoed. It will be translated into other languages so that you can understand. If someone cannot understand English, we can understand. Not all cultures speak English. Some cultures speak Spanish, some speak Hindi, some speak Gujarati, some German, some French. There are many, many languages in this world. We can convert them to those languages. If you ask in a certain language, it will be provided in that language to you. Then, Prabhupada asked for unity in diversity. By the way, we are all diverse people. Even in your own home, you are diverse people. Husband and wife are not the same. Children are not the same as the husband and wife. We're not impersonalists. We're not all one. We're different people. We have different natures. But Prabhupada wanted unity in diversity. He wanted unity in diversity, not diversity in unity. He wanted unity in diversity, sorry. He did want diversity in unity as well, but as a secondary point. I shouldn't have said not. In a secondary way, there is diversity in unity, but you don't lose the unity. And you don't lose the diversity either. We cooperate. In the spiritual world, there's a lot of diversity. How many colors of people are there in this world? How many colors do you think of people are there in this world? There are white people, there are black people, there are brown people, there are yellow people, I've heard. There are red people. Oriental people are considered a little yellow. There are red people, right? What other color are there? What other color? Pink? Beige? I mean, you can go in your hand, right? Count in your hands how many colors there are in this world. In the spiritual world, there are unlimited colors of people. And they all get along. It's not like the white guy makes a deal with the white one and says, hey, we're friends. You know, we don't so much like the brown ones, or the green ones, or the purple ones, or the multicolored, rainbow-colored ones. They don't say that. They work on the basis of the soul. The soul does not have a color that is a temporary color. It has a permanent color. It is Satchidananda Vigraha. So we want unity in diversity. And we want to accommodate differences in our cultures. We must be accommodating. The leaders must understand there must be an accommodation in differences of cultures, but not accommodation of fighting. We do not accommodate fighting. If you want to fight, please, there are many places to fight. They actually have very nice boxing gloves. You can go in the ring and, you know, hit the heck out of the other person. And then you'll win a championship and everybody will praise you as the greatest fighter in the world. You'll be the world boxing champion, or the world wrestling champion, or the world judo champion, whatever other champion. That's where you fight. Here, we are very happy with Radha Madhava Hari. We're very happy with Probot System, and we're all very happy, and we're all serving very happy. And we do not speak anything to anybody that might hurt Srila Prabhupada. He spent blood when he's having his third heart attack, where Prabhupada said, I was sure I was going to die. How much Prabhupada suffered, all of us put together have not suffered what Prabhupada suffered. All of us put together. Even for the rest of our life when we suffer, it will not equal to what Prabhupada himself suffered. But he never gave up the words of his spiritual master. He was faithful. Please understand, this is a very different movement. This is where we are very, very committed. We're so committed, even the terrorists can't be as committed as we are. We're more committed. We're not terrorists, by the way, but we're very, very committed. We don't agree with terrorists, but we're very committed. We're committed to love Radha Madhava Hari. We're committed to love their people. We're committed to love Srila Prabhupada. We're committed to loving each other. in a way that would be pleasing to Srila Prabhupada. Then comes ISKCON law. ISKCON law is actually was established by Srila Prabhupada himself, by the way. Just so you know, it wasn't ordinary people who did this. This is Srila Prabhupada's writings. And governs all matters relating to ISKCON. Governs all matters relating to ISKCON. Every matter in ISKCON is governed by ISKCON law. And contains all GBC resolutions. Because the GBC get together every so often, make resolutions, because there are issues, there are opportunities. So they make resolutions. They get together and make resolutions. And they publish those resolutions so everybody can see. Where can you see it? The website is iskcon.gbc.org. iskcon.gbc.org. Okay? You can just hit ISKCON GBC, you'll see that site going. All the resolutions are there. You can read them, what they decide. And calls for unified preaching strategies in each zone. Unified preaching strategy. All of us should know what is the preaching strategy of Phoenix. Now, can any of you tell me right now what is the preaching strategy of Phoenix? Put your hand up if you know the preaching strategy of Phoenix today. See, this is what it is. We're not unified. We need to get unified. We need to publish our strategy and say this is the unified strategy that the GBC, the local temple president, and their team have come up with. And then we're all unified on the same page. Most religions, all churches are very unified. You can't go to a certain church and do your own thing. They'll show you the door the first minute you do your own thing. Forget 1 day, 5 days, but we are very tolerant. People who even against the temple president will be allowed to visit the temple. Of course, at the point it has to stop because we can't do that way. It very much displeases Prabhupada. And then the deities get disturbed, and then the whole movement suffers in that local period. So our idea is we need to have that created very quickly. And the importance of cooperation. Srila Prabhupada, like I said, this was his final instruction. If you want to show your love to me, then show it by cooperating. So if you don't cooperate, we're saying to Prabhupada, I do not love you. I love myself more than I love you. And I'm going to do what I want. Thank you very much. That is not our plan. Second, it helps guard against internal conflict. When we actually try to cooperate with Srila Prabhupada's instructions, his way of how to do things, his telling us how to do it, then it avoids conflict because we understand we're doing it for Prabhupada's pleasure. So okay, it didn't happen my way. That's okay. Prabhupada is happy. The relationships are more important than the issues. We sometimes get bent out of shape on issues. That's what's wrong with the material world. It's not the issue, it's the relationship. The relationship is sambandha. Our whole philosophy can be put in 3 words. Sambandha, abhidhaya, and prayojana. Sambandha means our relationship with Krishna and Krishna's creation. Abhidhaya means our process, how to make that relationship perfect again. And prayojana means what is our final goal. Our final goal is love of Krishna. So relationships are more important than issues. And finally, we have to be servants of the servants. This is our role. Lord Chaitanya said that we should be servants of the servants. Dasa dasa anudasa. Gopir bhartu padakamalayur dasa dasa anudasa. We have to be the servants of the servants of the servants. And I showed you the system in ISKCON, how we do that. And we also have our gurus. By the way, the gurus follow the same system as well. The gurus follow exactly the same system, although they're very powerful. They all agree. In fact, this year, in the GBC meetings, they came out with a statement that shows that even the gurus accept this system and say, we will follow this system. So please, we are servants. We should be servants of the servants. That is our mode. Not I will be leader of the servants. We're not into servant leadership. We're into leader-servant. We want to be servants, not leaders. And whoever is appointed as leader, generally they don't want to be leader anyway, because they know what's going to happen when they become leader. It's like, Radha Madhava Prabhu keeps telling me, when you have position, there will be opposition. Position means opposition. Yes, that's the nature of material world. So nobody wants the position. Of course, some people want it because they're very ambitious. Then they'll find out very soon you can't hold that position without the blessings of Radha Madhavari, and without the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, and without the blessings of the GBC, and without the blessings of the local GBC. It's not going to happen. Many people have become temple presidents and left the temple presidency. Even at this temple, we know that has happened. The blessings and the mercy of senior devotees is most essential. Our process is what they call a revelatory process. It's by revelation. The seniors reveal it to the juniors reveal it to the next group, and it comes down in parampara like that. We must respect our senior devotees. Prabhupada said the temple president represents him in the temple. The temple president represents the deities. That means a senior person. Even if the person is not senior by age, they're senior by position. And the GBC is even more senior. Harivilas Prabhu is even more senior. We have to respect them. We may not agree in their style. We may be a little unhappy that they chastise us, get mad at us. It happened to me also. Not only my temple president, my GBC also chastised me. I didn't like it. But it's okay. I was going to follow Probot System. If Prabhupada said, you do it this way, I said, yes. I'm not too intelligent. I better do as I'm told. And I saved myself that way. Otherwise, I would have been, out there somewhere doing I don't know what. ISKCON's unprecedented success. Religious movements, like I said, are studied in 50-year cycles because religious movements are meant to last thousands of years. See? We're not meant to last thousands of years. How much are we supposed to last? No, we don't last 10,000. I haven't seen anybody lasting 10,000 years. You hope you last 10,000. You hope you last 10 years. 100 years, right? Maybe a little more or less than 100 years. So every year is so important. So then we celebrate every year as our birthday. Because every year marks 1%. In 10 years, 1%. Now we know.